Welcome into Bengals Breakdown. I am your host today, Stone Shields. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Sunday. Before we get going, just want to let you guys know that I'm doing a little solo producing here today. So if you see me look down at the screen, just bear with me a little bit. Just trying to do multiple things here at once as we get through today's show. But nonetheless, got a very exciting show planned out for you guys today. We do have a bit of an update on Ja'Marr Chase, which we will get into throughout today's show. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler came out with a report last night on SportsCenter that we will talk about. ESPN also released their X factors for all 32 NFL teams. We'll get into who exactly they have listed for the Cincinnati Bengals on today's show. I'll give you a little hint. It is a new face, so either someone that was acquired via free agency or through the 2024 NFL Draft that is going to be listed as the Bengals' X factor. And could this be a bounce back year for Lou Anarumo's defense? Certainly didn't play up to the standard last year after, stringing together some really solid seasons prior to that. The 2023 campaign was really one to forget for the defense, and we'll see if the Bengals can kind of bounce back and improve on that side of the ball. So that's our show today. But just want to let you guys know that we did it. We beat our Ravens channel in our August like battle. I know we kept pushing that to you guys rather frequently throughout the weeks of August. I just want to congratulate you guys. Thank you guys for helping us get this done. I believe since I've been the host here at Bengals Breakdown, this is the first battle with another channel that we have won. Granted, we are pretty much the smallest channel here at Chat Sports, so it was really good to knock off those Baltimore Ravens. It's a very close battle, as you can tell. Went down to the wire, but we were able to get it done, and that's a credit to you guys. So thank you so much for helping us do that. And as always, make sure you always hit that thumbs up icon for any one of our Bengals Breakdown videos that you watch. So let's get into what exactly Jeremy Fowler had to say on SportsCenter when he was talking about Ja'Marr Chase. He said the Bengals have intensified their efforts to get this done in recent days. People I've talked to in the building are somewhat optimistic and hopeful. It's a hard deal to do because he has 2 years left on his contract. The Bengals know that, so they have their limits as to how much guaranteed money they're willing to give him. So I definitely think that's kind of the biggest issue right now going forward with Ja'Marr Chase and his contract is just that guaranteed money that they're trying to figure out. But it's good that we got this report from Jeremy Fowler because I was kind of thinking that, the Bengals might just kind of let this thing go and they might stop trying to get this done with Ja'Marr. But like I said, Fowler reporting for ESPN that some things are getting, worked around in the building as far as, management and the front office perspective go for Cincinnati. So that could potentially mean good things to come here in the next week. But the time is ticking on Ja'Marr Chase getting this deal done. Of course, it's officially game week, folks. 7 days from now, the Bengals will be taking the field. So they're running out of time trying to get this done. Of course, Ja'Marr Chase wants to get this done prior to the regular season. So we'll see if he is able to do so along with the team. Certainly going to be monitoring that closely throughout the week, and we'll have an update for you guys if any news breaks. But I think I would consider it promising that Jeremy Fowler says there has been essentially a little bit of progress between both sides. We've kind of asked you a form of this question very frequently on our show here at Bengals Breakdown. What is your confidence level Ja'Marr Chase gets his deal done prior to the Bengals opener in 7 days' time against the New England Patriots at home? Scale it for us, 1 to 10 in the comment section. Does this new report from Fowler kind of change where you're at mentally as far as what you think is going to happen with Ja'Marr potentially getting a deal done with the team? But regardless, this is the pinned comment of today's video. So if that ad comes here on YouTube, that's totally fine. Take advantage of it. Hop down in the comments section and let us know what you think. So I mentioned at the top of the show that ESPN listed out X factors for all 32 teams. And the Bengals' X factor, according to ESPN, was Geno Stone. And I'm really excited that he made this list, and I think he's a guy that I think is going to play really, really well for Cincinnati this year. Out of all the new guys, he is my favorite to watch, whether that be a draft pick or just someone that was signed in free agency. I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what Geno Stone can do as a Cincinnati Bengal. He, of course, gave the Bengals fits last year when he was with Baltimore. This is a guy that was picked in the 7th round of the draft out of Iowa, and he really has just overachieved all throughout his career. Taking a look at some of his numbers here. When Marcus Williams got hurt for Baltimore and he kind of was forced into duty, I think he really did an excellent job for them, and I think that's why the Bengals certainly pursued him in free agency, because really it was that back end of the defense, specifically those safeties, that really let Cincinnati down last year. The communication on the back end was not what it needed to be. And then you bring in 2 new guys. Well, one, Von Bell, we don't really call him a new guy after his 1-year hiatus. He is back in Cincinnati. Really looking forward to seeing that. And Geno Stone, I think he's a guy that the Bengals have a lot of trust in. Now, it's not going to look exactly like Bates and Bell. Stone doesn't have as much speed as Bates did, or does, I should say. Of course, Bates playing over in Atlanta right now. But I think if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you have a lot of reason to be excited about that unit specifically. I think we're really going to see the back end of the Lou Anarumo's defense do a lot better job this year, and I think that's going to help impact the Bengals' play defensively, and I think that's going to kind of contribute to their bounce back on defense, which we will actually get into here in a bit. But another opportunity for you guys to get interactive with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. Who is your biggest X factor in 2024 for Cincinnati? You could sit there and kind of take the easy way out and say, well, it's Joe Burrow. If he stays healthy, he is, of course, their number one X factor. I get it. That's certainly an acceptable answer, but I think I really like what ESPN said here with Geno Stone, kind of a different way of looking at things. So sound off for us in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Who is your biggest X factor for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2024? Before we talk a little bit more defense on today's show, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Factor, because they are the sponsor of today's show. With football season really fully about to take off, I don't have time to cook. That's why I use Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Head to factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 and use code BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code BengalsChat50 at factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Really love Factor Meals and really appreciate them for being the sponsor of today's show. So could the defense bounce back in 2024 for Cincinnati? ESPN's Dan Graziano listed the Bengals defense as a potential surprise group in 2024. And really, that group really struggled last year. And as we'll get to at the end of today's show, they really ranked very poorly in a lot of categories, around the league, very much at the bottom of that list. So let's get into what exactly Dan Graziano said. He said the Bengals went young at safety last season. They believe it cost them in the long run. Bringing back Von Bell and signing Geno Stone away from the Ravens gives them 2 veterans on the back end, and they believe that will help them fix the communication problems they feel did them in last season. We got used to seeing Lou Anarumo's group as a big game asset, but last season it looked leaky. But the coaching staff believes the changes on the back end, mainly the return of Bell, will get the Bengals back to where they were when they were regular participants in the AFC Championship game. I think that's a lot of good points there from ESPN's Dan Graziano. This is a group that really helped the Bengals when they were going to those AFC Championship games. Obviously, Joe Burrow is the guy that got kind of all the praise and a lot of the credit, but that defense really was locked down for the Bengals when they kind of were going through that run. So here's some of the rankings that I was alluding to when it comes to the Bengals defensively in 2023. Total defense, they were 31st. Folks, there's only 32 teams in the NFL. That's not good. And passing defense, rushing defense, they're at the bottom there. Gave up a good amount of points as well. The one bright side was kind of their red zone defense. I thought, especially early on in the year, they did a good job of that kind of bend, never break defense, right? That kind of got them out of some tough spots, but really lots of areas to improve all over the defensive side of the ball for Cincinnati. And again, I really think that we're going to see that change be implemented because we have, those veteran safeties coming in and they're going to start and help with the communication. And, through training camp, you hear all the reports, you hear what all the beat writers are saying. The Bengals defense won a lot of the days in training camp, and I thought they played really well in the preseason as well. So from a linebacker and back end perspective of your defense, I'm really confident in what the Bengals are going to be able to do. For me, it's that defensive line, especially kind of that interior of the defensive line where, of course, they're trying to fill in for DJ Reader leaving in free agency. That's the big question mark to me. Are the Bengals going to be able to stop the run and be able to put any pressure whatsoever on the quarterback? If they can do a little bit of those two things, I think they're going to have a phenomenal year on defense in 2024. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel here at Bengals Breakdown. We have our first regular season watch party coming at you on Sunday for Week 1 Bengals Patriots. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. I believe we'll be live probably an hour before kick, so probably in that noon-ish range, but we'll have a time confirmed for you guys coming up later in the week. Make sure you hit that sub button if you haven't already. That's youtube.com/BengalsTV.